I look at priorities and where I spend my time. I talk about time and I talk about your value, my value of it a lot. I talk about it a lot. And I believe the key to life and the key to happiness and getting what we want is the ability to put effort towards what we actually want. Put time, put effort, and so I think that where we spend our time is something that we're a lot less conscious of than we are. And I say we, but I say me, and I think we're all in the same boat here to some degree. So the system that I want to tell you about for looking at where you spend your time and how to make some shifts around that goes like this. So the first thing to do is to actually get honest about where you spend time. And the next is then figuring out why you spend your time doing what you do, where it's actually coming from, what I get out of it. Some of it's bad habits, some of it's patterns, and some of it is because it feeds something that we get something out of. Laziness or playing small or low risk or safety, all those types of things. But the thing that I want to look at is how do we bring this into a greater level of consciousness? How do I get more aware of what this whole game is that I play, and how do I make adjustments to it? So how do I move the needle here once I figure it out? So the story I want to tell you is, many people know I'm a fitness guy, and I'm into that. And I like analogies. I like flying analogies. I like fitness analogies. But this one here I want to tell you about is going to help illustrate the difference between what my actual priorities are and what my fantasy priorities are. And I've talked about this before, and just want to talk to you about it again. That's why the title of this I'm calling Priorities Round 6. Because I know for me, I need to hear it again and again and again and again. So I'm not super, smart. I'm no genius with working out, but I know that it works by exerting myself to a certain degree that falls within a certain spectrum or stratus, so that I force adaptation. And it occurred to me that for a long time, I would calculate how I would exert myself based off how strong I actually was, my max. Whether that be bench or squatting or whatever it is, or maybe it would be the speed of my mile or something like that, the time of my mile. So what I would do is I would base it off of what my fantasy was. I would fantasize that my back squat was this amount of weight. It wasn't actually that weight, it was my fantasy. But I would base how I would exert myself to try to force adaptation based off my fantasy and not off the actual and the reality of what it was. So it skewed the numbers, and I wasn't actually able to, follow the system that was laid out and, the basic calculations to do that. I would get tired or whatever. And then I'd complain, or I would act confused, or whatever else I would do to not actually just look and face the truth about what was going on. So I tell you this because you also have actual priorities, and then you have fantasy priorities. And I think that this is a repeat, and I just want to say it to you again. You say something is important, but you don't spend time doing it. And this video is coming, and this blog is coming because I was talking to a client, and he was saying how his health is important, and how self-care is important, and how much time do you think he was spending on his health and his self-care? None, no time. And he wasn't applying himself to build out a baseline or a foundation of health and self-care in order to actually understand where he is on the spectrum, where he is on the in reality around how fit or how much he takes care of himself, how healthy he is. I don't want to pick on him because many people are out there. We make compromises. So this goes into why we choose and why we put time where we do. So, I'm an ego-based creature, and so are you. If you're not, welcome to, the ascension or something. But most of the time, my priorities and yours, they're based off of our ego. How will this make me look? How can this make me perform better, have more, blah, blah, blah. It's not about how can I take care of myself and not also take care of myself and say that it's self-care, but it's really just me being lazy or selfish or not wanting to, give to the world. So there's all kinds of places for fuckery there. But am I taking care of myself so that I know that I operate at the highest level so that I can give more to the world? So that the quality of me is the highest possible quality so that I can give to the world, I can serve the world. I think another common thing here is I keep creating the same problem. I don't actually face the problem. If I want to have better health, or I want to get in touch with how healthy I am, or I want to be with that, and I don't actually deal with it, then my health continues to be a problem. And if I don't solve this problem or get in touch with or gain intimacy around the level of health or self-care that I'm currently creating or cultivating in my life, I'm not going to solve the bigger problems, the next higher problems. So how to move the needle is to apply yourself, to spend time doing what it is that you know or that you think you need to be doing, so that you can shift that and then you can see and you can be more intimate and in touch with it. And you're going to need to be committed. I know I need to be committed. So if I say I want to have a more intimate relationship with my wife, I have to spend time doing it. Maybe I'm researching it. Maybe it's time. Maybe it's listening. Maybe it's just simply being open and hearing what's, receiving and feeling what's going on. And if I'm not doing that, there's probably a really good reason why. I've got old patterns. I'm afraid. I have bad habits. And the key to this is, to wake the fuck up, stay awake, and actually listen and actually connect and actually move the needle. And it won't happen overnight. Like when I'm talking about, this guy optimizing his health, it's like, I don't want you taking, 20 points and moving them over. It's like a 1 or 2 or, and redistributing them so that you can measure them and you can integrate the changes. So look and see where if you want to make changes and if you want to shift your priorities, which would be to make changes, where is it coming from? Where is that coming from? For me, it's almost always about having higher quality connections, giving more, being open to receive, truly receive love, connection, relationship. And am I taking care of myself based off of an ego trip, or is it so that I am cultivating a higher quality version of me? So the thing here too, I'm just going to ask you here at the end is this opportunity, is are you making your health a priority? Could you be making it more of a priority? Where is it in your priorities? And can it be optimized? The second thing here is to look at and really assess is, are you basing stuff off of your fantasy priorities or is it off of your actual priorities? And are you full of shit there? Could you handle to tell yourself or face a deeper truth there? Are your priorities ego-based? Or are they based off of better connection with yourself, with the people in your life, and the environment. I think the world that surrounds you. Well, thanks for your time.